Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a magical, energetic, and inspiring experience. That's my goal. I'm going to be posting this on Sunday, the 8th of October. My goal is to post every Sunday something that is going to be meaningful, something with wisdom, healing to really support you on your path. So, I'm going to pause for just a moment here. I can't really tell you what this is going to be about. It's a bit of a mystery. I took some time to just close my eyes and ask the universe, what could I share that would really help people today? You know, when I post this video on the 8th, whenever they decide to watch it, I mean, we could get rid of the dates here and just experience this is a message for you for right now. It just happens to post on the 8th of October, 2023. So what they showed me was, I don't know why, it really hit me in my heart. It made me feel kind of weird. Basically, there is a solitary man, and he's standing in this sort of what remains of a long-lost civilization. And it's not overgrown, so you can actually walk through this empty city. It's not built like modern cities. It's built like a olden day city, like 10,000 years ago or something. And this man is wearing some metallic armor that's golden. It's different. It's sort of like made out of attached rings. And the rings are kind of, there's up here on this bicep and over here on this bicep, but it's not like it covers his whole body head to toe. It just covers some parts of his body. He even has like something on his head. It's not like a full helmet. It's some golden piece. So he's standing in what remains of some old city, thousands of years old. And he's got something broken here that he's just looking at both sides of, I don't know what, maybe be a shattered clay pot piece. And he stands there looking at it. What's eerie about this scene, which is brief, the universe shows me this scene as part of a message that I meant to share with all of you. So this message is for you for right now. This message is going to impact you. It's going to impact me. It's going to impact all those who watch the video across all spans of time. Whether that is in a couple days, a couple years, it's for right now, okay? So why is this picture so important? Why did it make me feel so strange? Could you imagine, and there's obviously movies, there's video games about the concept of some event that happens and a lot of the human race is wiped out, or maybe it's transformed into some zombie-esque nightmare. But there's only a certain few humans that have their sanity, they have the ability to think, make decisions, protect themselves, or survive, right? And everything else is gone, except for what remains of empty cities or long-lost civilizations. I don't know, it just kind of hit me in my heart, just this thought of the solitary man in an empty world. A world that should still be alive, it should be thriving. Picking up the pieces that are still there, but what's left is all broken, you know? So why is the universe showing me this? Why is what is this message saying to us? What is this getting us thinking about? I don't really know other than this right now. So I thought I'd start the video and just introduce this. What do you think about this? All it is an idea, right? A creative idea that impacts us somewhere inside ourselves. So I'm going to actually close my eyes and do a live journey. And let's see if we can dive into this picture some more and unravel the mystery. And see if perhaps there's something that impacts our souls. There's something that impacts us each uniquely and how our soul resonates with just that imagery. And then how we're pulling the information back into this present day moment. And what that message and then what this moment and how they sort of intermingle, they create meaning. And meaning that we reflect on life, existence, life and death, past, present, future, all that stuff. It's kind of deep, you know? It's deep stuff. Okay, so I'm going to relax, close my eyes, and let's see what else I discover here. What we can make sense of. So I'm on the outside looking in. It's almost like I'm standing in this cosmic library, like the Akashic records. I mean, that is what it looks like. It's kind of cool. So what it looks like in my vision, it just looks like this infinite library, and it has infinite numbers of books and these crazy shelves that go up to the stars, and there's souls everywhere. And everybody's interested in each other and interested in learning, and interested in the stories and the experiences that we've all had. And then you bring that back to a human lens, and you start to think about all the different people on the planet, people you like, people you don't like, people you'd like to see, stop existing for whatever reason. You're screwing up the world. You need to go away. Because we have thoughts like that, right? Is that the answer? We have thoughts like that, right? But in this Akashic records, all are valued, right? Whether you can value people, every single person, or not as a human being, you will as a soul. That's the crazy truth. That's the ultimate crazy truth. Even if you can't value yourself, you will value yourself a lot more once you're a soul, because you'll start to understand the meaning of everything that you are. The meaning of everything that every single person is that impacted your life directly or indirectly. You'll start to see the value of it all. And even people that you can't stand, you'll find out that they're your soulmate and that you had amazing romances with this person somewhere in time. They have some alien planet, who knows, right? Maybe they were your favorite pet. It's crazy like this. In the Akashic records, you really can understand the value of every single living thing. And every single living thing that didn't want to live anymore or wanted to destroy every other living thing. But you can see it through the lens of value, be able to appreciate all things. That's why it's so special. And nothing in the infinite universe is ever deleted. So the human race, we could burn all the books and we could change the story of history, but it'll never be changed in the universe. The truth will always be known. I had an interesting experience one time, and I've had this many times in different ways, but King Trident sort of presented himself to me, pulled me into the ocean, and the ocean told me, King Trident of the ocean told me too, it's like this whole sort of message of the sea was sharing with me that nothing is ever lost, and that the sea has memory. The sea will always remember. It will remember every single thing. And that anything that ever feels lost, or anything that you would ever feel sad about to be lost in history or altered about history, it isn't. And the ocean will always remember. And I've heard it in other ways. My spirit guides have told me that we carry the memory even inside ourselves. Like in our very DNA, we carry the memory. So any kind of scientist is going to want to say, well, I need to have the tools, the means to bring forward what is like some kind of computer program that's going to pull and maybe even translate into the English language or some language where we could see word for word for word for word for word every single thing about history that is the truth about history. What's interesting, though, is the truth of someone's perception over the truth of someone else's perception. So you have a historian on this side of a war, and then you have a historian on this side of the war. The historian on this side of the war might not like that other side. And so they may say things about that side that, exaggerate the truth or whatever, right? So history is kind of interesting because sometimes the information is through the lens of the historian, the speaker of the time. But the ocean will remember, and our souls remember, right? The very fabric of our blood remembers, like the earth remembers. So I'm standing in this amazing vast library, and something about this little blip that I was describing, the solitary man, it comes from this green book. So now I'm just sort of like looking at a picture book, and there's a man, but then on this other side I see all this writing. What kind of writing? Is it handwritten? Is it typed? Is it in hieroglyphs? It just looks like scribble, okay? And I see picture over here. And then I close the book, it has a green binding, and then I put it in a shelf, and it's got all these colorful bindings. And it's like, oh, wow, big shelf, lots of big shelves. Wow, it's a wonderful place where everybody loves each other. Everybody wants to understand and dive into some deeper message. And it starts to ignite your soul. It ignites your soul in a way that as a human being, you want to feel that, you want to feel that freedom, that love, that exchange, that camaraderie, that connection, that value of all things. All creative things, destructive things, the value of the whole story, right? You want to feel that just igniting in your heart. But then when you are the character in the book, you don't particularly like your own story. You might even not even like yourself as the character, let alone the story that the character has to live in, right? But you're totally valued, by the way. And there's going to be souls reading your book right now, and you're probably one of them, and a bunch of other souls, and it's like, wow, what a cool story. You'd be like, probably boringest story ever told. No, it isn't. Your life is not the boringest story ever told. And it might be a cruel story. It might be a wise story and nobody ever heard about you and all the human race and people should have heard about you. Well, we'll know about you in the spirit realm because we'll know about every single person in the spirit realm. It's kind of crazy like that. So I'm now just standing in this like super cosmic library. And it's heavy in my heart. It's a conflict between what it is to live a human life and then what it means through eyes that can see from a higher dimensional plane of understanding. So you carry a certain weight to go through a human life, you know? Then when you stand here, it's so different. And then you ask yourself, what is this doing for me anyway? Other than it's giving me something to enjoy experiencing for the time, but I got to get back to being human. And how is this really going to make any difference in my human life? One of the messages that echoed to me about that statement, there's been times in my life, at different ages in my life, because I've always been talking to the spirit realm, I always talk to God, and God's always been my best friend. So I could tell God anything. I could even hate God and God would still love me. That's why God's my best friend. Because I could always be honest with God and I could even tell God, I don't know why, but I'm so mad, or God, I hate you for this, or God, you know, whatever. And God would always still love me. And that's what has taught me about what love is. Like the most extraordinary kind of love. The love that would never stop loving you, even if you hated that love. It would never stop loving you. Because I choose to be honest about my feelings when my feelings hurt. And I try to rise above. I just want to know what it feels like to be this right now, to be honest with this and to make sense of what this is. And to have someone to talk to about it who's not going to judge me. And that's God. Every single time. It's always been God. And in my life, there's been times where I would get these whispers that would, when I was really sad, okay? And these whispers that would tell me, you know, everything's going to be okay, Abby. Everything's going to be okay. Just keep going. It's always going to get better. It's going to get better. And I remember hearing that as I struggled with depression and loneliness a lot. And I remember hearing that, you know, my teenage years. And I thought, well, maybe it'll get better when I get to college. And it never got better. Like, I had new experiences. I had a new sense of freedom. I had a new way of living. But I still carried this, like, this part of my life story is always sort of inside me. And some of the conflicts that we all could say, you know what, there's some repeat about my life that I always seem to have this experience, or this is so familiar and here we go again. You know what I mean? Like you're the butt of some joke you can never get out of. And so I carried that sort of my thing that just I always felt it. And there was no real reconciliation of it, the sense that I'm kind of a solitary man or a solitary woman. I was just a solitary being, solitary human being, just existing. Kind of an empty world. I even said that. I used to say that I felt like I was an invisible person in a world full of people. I actually felt that way. And maybe I made myself invisible, you know? Like I don't have any regrets about that because I could only truly be as best as I can comprehend how to be. But I could talk to God about it. And it's just like part of me. It's just part of my story. So this voice that always tells you everything's going to be okay and things are going to get better. I've had so many breaking points. And almost like that, those kind words that keep you going, that just keep you going, keep you motivated, keep you believing in something. But you get enough breaking points where it's almost cruel. It's almost like a lie. It's almost like the spirit realm tells you what you need to hear to keep you going. But you just want to hear the truth. But if you could hear the truth, how would that actually help you? Because if the truth is you're going to have this breaking point, 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 that might completely alter your framework and the meaning of your existence. That's why knowing the future isn't necessarily what we came here for. We didn't come here to just know the future. We came here to figure out who we are in the moments and in the breaking points and in the resurrection points too. And so something about this cosmic library and this sort of solitary man in this empty, long-lost world. And this sort of experience of being human, it's being free, so I actually could read the book instead of be the character in the story, Whether I like myself, the character, I like the story, I don't like the story. I'd rather my story be someone else's story, right? There's something about when you hear enough of the positive and you want to give in and believe, it sort of gives you a sense of hope. But what is that anyway? It's just this, it's like this sense that I'm not okay with life the way that it is, so I'd rather have hope than live in the way that life is. And maybe that's the message, is that it's okay to live in the way that life is. It's okay to sink into the character that you are and in the story that you live in. And it's okay to be sad and angry, and it's okay to even be angry at God, but God is your best friend. Is someone that you can always talk to that would never judge you. And one day you'll understand it all, you know? You'll understand every single thing. You'll understand every single thing so ridiculously well. You'd probably want to jump back into a human body and try this all over again because you know you could do it better next time. And you probably already have a book in the library that proves it. Because this library is all times, all timelines, all souls. It's how vast it is. Nothing is ever deleted in the memory of the universe, and you definitely are not deleted. Even souls who don't want to exist anymore. That's just part of the way to being human, saying that. Because in the spirit realm, you'll remember, and you will want to exist. And you'll want to try to find your way back into existence. And you might have to come back and try it again and again and again and again until you realize that it's okay to embrace who I am and the way things are, and to not need it to be better than this. No matter how bad it is, this might be the best that you could ever ask for. And if you could find gratitude for that, it would release you from something that says, I don't have enough. My dreams aren't coming true. What's wrong with me? Why do I keep attracting bad luck? What hope is there for a better human race? Look at the way the world's turning today. And just embrace the way things are right now. Embrace yourself the way you are. Embrace life the way it is. Embrace every single person in the whole entire world. Because you're in a book here, right? And then you have all the books. You can't make a good story without all the characters of the story. And a good story has lessons to learn, right? It's the meaning of life contained within it. And we need everybody in order to explore that, which is what makes it special. So, I guess that's my message. I guess. I know it's my message because I made it and I'm doing it. So what inspired me to make this message? I want to keep sharing something of who I am, something of what life means to me. It just feels like what I need to do. It feels like what makes sense. One thing I miss is feeling like you have access to real people, you know? And people who speak like themselves. Not speak like a projection of the latest bandwagon or advertisement and just a regurgitation of, I don't know, some news headlines. And actually have thought about things. Taken the time to really think, really feel, really get to know themselves, really get to know what it means to be alive, what it means. And just hear people speak from the heart. I don't know. I'm going to just keep speaking from the heart and share something of my experience of the universe, of being human. And it might just be a medicine that will help another person. And what's the point of helping people? People have to help themselves. But I know how much it's meant to me in my life when I've been helped. And I know how much God has meant to me who has helped me. So I could share something of that mirror with others, you know, and it's good. It's really, really good. It's beautiful, you know? So, hope you enjoyed this message. Thank you so much for your love and support here. Feel free to comment, share your thoughts about it all. What do you think about the solitary man? What do you think about the Akashic records? What do you think about being human versus being a soul looking down upon it all, remembering everything and understanding why without even needing the word why. You're just a part of it all. And it's complete. It's whole within you. You don't have to try. You're just a part of the love of all things, and it's part of something extraordinary. So feel free to comment, share your thoughts. If you're interested in working with me in a session, I'd be honored to take a look at anything you got going on and read the energy patterns, do some energy work for you, share some wisdom to help you. You can book a session at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody.